today, Patrick turned 2. My family and I live in the Deanwood neighborhood located in Ward 7. I'm also a DC Public School employee serving our youngest Washingtonians in Ward 6 at Minor Elementary School. I am also the Ward 6 Empower Ed Fellow and the Secretary of the Deanwood Citizens Association. My testimony will state my opinion as a DC Public School parent, DC Public School employee, then as a Ward 7 resident. I want to extend a specific Ward 7 Deanwood congratulations to the State Board of Education Ward 7 representative, Ms. Ebony Rose Thompson. Thank you, Ebony Rose. I look forward to working with you to support schools here in my Ward 7 neighborhood of Deanwood. Also, congratulations to President Parker and Vice President Gasoy. Now, as a DC school parent, these are my questions. These are all the questions I kept asking myself. Did we spend, as a parent, is what I asked myself, did we spend enough quality time with our children today? Did we review his sight words and numbers for today? Did we make the right choice by putting Pete Jr. in a pod and sending Patrick back to daycare? Should we accept the seat when it's offered to us for in-person learning? Will my child be able to adjust again to more students being added to his virtual classroom on Microsoft Teams if we decline the in-person learning seat? Will the administration at my son's school in Ward 5 implement an outdoor learning plan? These are my DC Public School employee questions. Will all the students show up today on Microsoft Teams? Will Teams work right today? Will Canvas work correctly today? Am I really ready to go back to the school building in person? Will DC Public Schools mandate that I get vaccinated in order to keep my job? Will I have to quarantine? If I have to quarantine, who's going to take care of my kids? Will I have a poor performance evaluation because I can't convince my students to keep their mask over their nose and mouth? Will my school administration support and implement an outdoor learning plan that can be an option for in-person learning? Can Mayor Bowser mandate that all DC public schools have an outdoor learning plan by the end of school year 2021 and implement that outdoor learning plan in school year 2021-22? Can Mayor Bowser and Chairman Mendelson bring back the Education Committee as soon as possible? Now, these are my questions as a Ward 7 resident. Will the children in my community truly benefit from in-person learning? Will the schools in my neighborhood be prepared with the mental health services that will be needed for the students who return to in-person learning? Will the staff at the local schools be ready mentally, physically, and emotionally to return to in-person learning? What can I do to support my in-person learning at my schools in the Deanwood neighborhood? How can I assist in these schools with in-person learning via my position as the Deanwood Citizens Association Secretary? What can I do to support a safe passage for my students in my neighborhood as they walk to and from school as in-person learning resumes? I ask all these questions because I haven't gotten any answers to them. As Ms. Laura said earlier, another colleague here at HD Woodson, a